Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, geeks of all ages, we are here at San Diego Comic-Con, the mecca of Geek Central, and I am here with the gang at Wayside Creations. We have Matt and Tybee, and they are just two very fabulous individuals, and we're here to talk about their little web series, movies. Well, yeah, okay, a couple things. Fallout. You know it. You probably hate it if you're like me. You hate the game because it's terrible, because you have all these problems with being like incumbent. You can't carry all kinds of stuff, and it's frustrating. You got this huge bag for your inventory, but guess what? You can't carry jack shit in your bag. It's terrible. In fact, there's a part in one of your guys' first of all, how are you doing?
Really good. How are you doing, sir? So good to be here.
So good.
Okay, perfect. Now, before I just go crazy about this game, one of the most recent movies that I watched was the Fallout Nuka Break Red Star.
Red Star, yeah.
Yes, okay, and that actually takes place in between, at the beginning of the first season, right? It's kind of like a prequel, more or less? Yeah. Okay, so there's this part where he's walking through the desert all slow, and I immediately thought of, that guy is over-encumbered, he can't walk, and that's one of the reasons why I hated the game. And I was like, oh my god! So immediately I was drawn into it because of my hatred for this game.
So it was your loathing of the game that pulled you into the series. Usually we have the opposite, like people love the game, and then they go check out the series.
Right.
But apparently we're hitting it from both sides.
This is true. And then what's neat about this is like bottle caps are like the currency in this world. So you get a couple bottle caps, you go save a girl, and then you go back to this farmhouse, and you're a hero for it. It's awesome. It's amazing.
It's a lot like real life.
Right, exactly. I have this wicked collection of bottle caps. But it's really fun and festive, and for a depressing world, anyway.
Yeah.
So where are you guys at in relations to, there's 2 seasons for Fallout, correct? Yep. Where are we at with season 3?
Go ahead.
We're not focusing on a season 3. What we've got right now is our current Kickstarter that's still in effect for a few more days. Is for something called Tales from the Wasteland, and it's going to be a standalone short, much like Red Star, or the original fan film was originally supposed to be. It'll be like a 20-minute short about, kind of focuses on the Ranger still in that universe. We're going to expand upon a scene that was an animatic in season 2, and now we will make it live action.
Right, so there are parts of these where it switches to the animatic type thing, right? And how does that work out better for you guys from just a production standpoint, just to switch it over to animation?
There's a couple advantages. Like stylistically, it fits with the Fallout universe. Like that type of stuff happens in the game. There's a lot of artistic use, a lot of artistic things done to tell stories. So it also allows us to save money because we can tell a lot of story with animation. We can fill in gaps so we might not have a location to film in. We might not want to build a vault or something, so we can just do an animation. And the fans seem to really like it, again, because it ties in with the ethos of the game.
Basically, you guys are like me in that you hated the game so much you decided to make a movie to make it better, right? Is that correct?
I'm going to go with no.
I
like the game.
It's sort of like the opposite, and I think what is neat about the Fallout series is it came at a very interesting time in fan films, where there were people out there sort of making fan films and doing a good job, but no one sort of came in, or at least the way I remember the internet, no one really came to the table with like a cinema quality product that was a live action video game. And I felt that with the fan film and the series, and especially Red Star, like it looks like a real movie. This is mature filmmaking work done by fans, and I think that's an amazing testament to the people involved and all the talent.
Absolutely, I really enjoyed it. Now, I understand you're also working on a Legend of Grimrock. Now, is that going to be a series, or was that going to be a one-shot as well? I know you can't talk about it too much, but for those of you that don't know, this is like this. It's a dungeon crawler game, and it's kind of has like these classic elements to it, but with like the gameplay that fits today's style. So basically, it's a bunch of prisoners that are thrown into a mountain, and they got to find their way out. Right. So, and we care about these prisoners because
I spoke a lot.
Are they like Shawshank prisoners? Yeah.
Well, I think in the game, you don't actually get to know the characters as well, but we will. I think anytime you get to really know characters, you tend to attach to them, unless they're, totally terrible. But hopefully, they'll be awesome. They will be. And we're going to get to kind of explore some of the lore from Grimrock 2 that hasn't been released yet. So we're really, really excited about that because we have it all to ourselves right now. So we get to explore that world.
Right. So that's also another thing too, is that because we don't know much about these characters, it's cool that you can expand on it. You're building your own little universe within the game.
We have a lot of room for creativity.
One of the things that there's a thing we do that I like to call the Wayside Magic. And kind of our approach to making these films is we don't take a video game and tell the story of the game.
Oh.
Right. We don't use characters that are, or as protagonists that are in the game. We're not following your gameplay. We're telling a brand new story using design elements, using characters that might have been, you might see them off in the background. But we're using the universe, but we're playing over the hill. We're the guys who you don't see on the game screen, but we're in the universe. And that gives us a lot of flexibility to create our own characters, to do our own stories, create our own villains. Like, we're not hampered by the constraints of the game. A lot of flexibility, so we end up telling good stories.
Right. So in the game, puzzles play a big part of it. So in your movie, is it going to be just a bunch of guys sitting around putting together a 1,500-piece puzzle?
It is not like that. It is not like that. Dark, it is not. That is a great idea, and we can talk later if you want to expand on your idea. No, it's sort of. I don't want to give away too much. It sounds good. Thank you.
Take credit for that.
It's the story of a bunch of characters who are on a journey. Without going into too much detail, but the characters are all. They're very interesting people. I think they draw you in because they each have a story. They each have a journey, an arc, and they're all sort of focused on a goal. And there are puzzles. Yeah.
I like it. We like puzzles. We're a bunch of geeks with the puzzles. Yes. Matt and Tybee, thank you very much for your time. All of you out there, remember to stay tuned to geeklegacy.com for all of your geek news and reviews.